Welcome to the new home training series. And I'm Mama Faye. And I'm starting this new series called the MOMAFEY Home Training Series because you can remember a time when you had in our lives where our parents, our grandparents, our aunties were always there guiding us and giving us different information and tools about how to live and how to conduct ourselves, whether it was at home or whether it was out when we went out in public. And they would say things like, where you going with that on? You better go back in there and change that. You're not going out of this house looking like that. Who do you think you are? You come from our family and you're not going to embarrass us like that. Or sometimes they would say, make sure you are clean and properly groomed and make sure you have on good, when you're younger, good underwear, because God forbid you go to the doctor or the hospital and you're not going to embarrass us out there in these streets. And then those are those times when they would always give you those little graces so that you would know how to conduct yourselves when you're at home and other people come into your home, how you had to welcome them, and you had to at least offer to allow them to come in and to have a seat, and you had to offer them something to drink. And then there were those times when they would take you out to other people's house or to a public event, and they would have those conversations with you right before you go out, right before you get out of that car. Now look, you're not going to run all over these people's house. You're not going to eat up all of their food. We've had those conversations. Don't go in there acting like you hungry, because you got food here home to eat. And they would say things like that because they were trying to always make sure that we knew how to conduct ourselves. Don't make a mess. Make sure you clean up behind yourself. And they always kept little things. And sometimes, let's face it, we didn't even appreciate the fact that they told us those things, and they would correct us and they would tell us different things to do. But we found out that later in our lives that those things are the very things that caused us to have the success that we may have today. So Mama Faye, is going to bring a lot of that back. And yes, some of it, let's face it, it was an error. It was something that was back in the day. And guess what? Some of it is going to stay back in the day. But I want to help remind us of what it was like to have home training. And hopefully through many of these series, I hope that you will be able to take something away that will be valuable to you, that you can say, hey, I like that, and I want to put that as a part of my life, or it's something that I think I want to instill in my children or my grandchildren. Let's face it, sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But at least if we would go through the process and let them know that these are the things that we were trained, and we are now going to pass it down to you. Do with it what you want, but let's go on this journey together. So I'm going to say, as I'm always going to say, let us not do anything today that we're going to regret tomorrow. Are you really going to be ready for this?